What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Thought I'd shoot this on the Osmo just for why the fuck not reasons. Right, so this video it's all about Micro Four Thirds and travel. So I've not posted for quite a while due to being busy with work and other things, but also due to planning for a couple of trips this year, a few trips in fact. So this, which leads me on to this video. So this video is about me trying to discover what it is I need to bring with me on the first trip, and the first trip is to San Francisco, and it's not just around the corner, so it's not a place I'm likely to go back to anytime soon. So I need to be aware of that and pick the right gear to make sure I get the content which I want. You know, a lot of this, getting the right content is down to the user more than the gear, but you know, I need to be thinking about things like you know, do I want vlog video? Do I want more than 60 megapixels in terms of photography? You know, do I want to come back and think, oh, I wish I shot that in vlog, or I wish I had more dynamic range for this, or I wish I had more megapixels for this? You know what I mean? So all these things in my head. So I have a few options which I can use and take, and so the first thing in my head was, do I want to take full frame? Do I want to take a full frame travel setup? Or do I want to stick with Micro Four Thirds for travel, which makes more sense? So camera body wise, I mean, if you look at the S5, for example, so if you look at the difference in size of bodies, the S5 here and the G9 is here, and obviously Micro Four Thirds and full frame, but the size of the bodies, if you try and ignore the cages which they're in, I'll do my best to show you a comparison. The G9 to me is a little bit, looks a little bit bigger. So that just shows how small the S5 is for the full frame camera body. So camera body wise, there's not much difference in terms of size. Where the difference comes in is the size of lenses, which I'll get into in a bit. But lenses, just for comparison, so I quite like to do a bit of street photography, and when I do street photography, I quite like the 85mm look. If I was to take the S5, this is my 85mm f1.8 from Panasonic. Really lovely lens, and this is my Olympus Micro Four Thirds 45mm, so 90mm full frame equivalent, so roughly the same focal length, and also an f1.8, and you can just see the size difference there. And without the lens hoods, just to whoop, that's what the lens hood's on, so you can just see the amazing advantage of Micro Four Thirds. So going by that, my decision is to go with Micro Four Thirds. I'm not sacrificing a lot in terms of quality and ability. What I am sacrificing, most obvious, is the lack of high ISO ability. You can, in stills and video, get decent performances with the G9 up to about 3200, but yeah, that it will start to look quite grainy. You can combat that with the G9, and particularly for photography, you can combat that with image stabilization, in-body image stabilization, which means you can really reduce that shutter speed and let more light in, and you're not gonna have, unless something's moving quite fast in the scene, you can have quite sharp images thanks to that IBIS. So yeah, So it is a little bit of a trade-off, but for me, it's not the end of the world. I can still make that work for my needs. Also, or during our trip to San Francisco, we will be stopping off to Yosemite National Park, which looks really epic and amazing opportunity for getting some good content photography and video. Now, there's a lot of wildlife there in Yosemite National Park. Not too eager to meet the bears, if I'm totally honest, but nevertheless, there's opportunity there for wildlife. So again, if I was to go with the S5, I would want to take a telephoto lens, and I have the Sigma 100 to 400 L mount lens, and this is actually quite small for a 100 to 400 full frame. So I would be having to take this, but if I go with the G9, I can get away with using this, which is the 100 to 300 Mark II. I really like this lens. It's not super fast like a Leica 100 to 400 f2.8 to f4, but it is a good quality, really good, useful 200 to 600 full frame wildlife lens. And as you can see, again, it's quite small. So even with the hood on, it's not too much bigger. Look at that. 200 to 600, that's incredible. And again, I've said this before in other videos, this lens was the reason why I switched to Micro Four Thirds for photography, because of this lens. The reach you can get with this is absolutely fantastic. So weather sealed, optically image stabilization, so that pairs well with the G9. So I got a dual IS, which is fantastic. And this is actually a stop brighter than the f4 to 5.6. It's a stop brighter than the 100 to 400, so it's a brighter lens with more reach. So this is a better option for wildlife, particularly in Yosemite National Park. So yeah, that's my telephoto I'm going to take. So overall, I'm thinking about, so telephoto, a nice fast prime in the 45mm f1.8 from Olympus, and I need then just a good walk around lens, and I really like this one. This is the Panasonic 12 to 60, so this is a really good focal range, so 24 to 120, which is perfect. Now, if I was to show you the full frame equivalent, rough equivalent lens with me, albeit I'd have to adapt this because it's Canon, but this would be it. This is the 24 to 105, and that's the 12 to 60. This is weather sealed, OIS in there too, and this has a further reach than this one. So you can't really beat that, can you? I mean, you get further reach with this, which is incredible, and it's so bloody small, which is crazy. So again, if I was to take the S5, although the S5 is no bigger than the G9, but you can see I'm really sacrificing on space in the travel bag when it comes to lenses. So all-rounder 12 to 60, and I may even take, because it's so friggin' tiny, the 70mm f1.8. I mean, these two alone is pretty much one lens. That's two lenses right there. Crazy. So now, two primes, f1.8, 70mm and a 45mm, a good walk around lens 12 to 60, telephoto 100 to 300 Mark II. But I will need a wide lens. And I have mentioned this before, the fact that I need a wide lens for my Micro Four Thirds system. And I was looking to get maybe the 9 to 18 or the 7 to 14 Panasonic. Now, I made a purchase the other day for my Canon 70D, and I think I may, with some caveats, have covered a need for a wide angle for my 70D and also my Micro Four Thirds system. And this is what I went for. Just drink my coffee before it goes cold. This is the Tokina 11-16 f2.8. I have the 17-35 f4 for full frame. Really like that lens, and I picked this up for the 70D. But with this on a Viltrox speed booster, you're getting really wide shots with this. I took a couple of stills with it on the G9, and it's coming up as 8mm focal length on the 11 on the 11mm on the lens. So it's very, very wide indeed, and the optics are very nice, and also it's a very fast wide angle lens. It's f2 once you put this on a Viltrox speed booster, so you get an f2 wide angle lens, which is brilliant. Caveats are that autofocus is pretty shit. It's not the best. But for landscape and seascapes, which I'm going to be using this for, you know, Golden Gate Bridge, that fog rolling in would be perfect to slap this on. Yosemite National Park with the mountains and things, you know, I'm gonna want to have a wide angle lens. So two things though, which I'm not totally convinced, is the fact that it's quite a big lens. I'm not sure how much bigger than the 17-14 this is, but I'm guessing it's quite a bit bigger. So it's big compared to Micro Four Thirds lenses, and also the autofocus is not the best. But you do have this lovely clutch style focus ring for manual focus. So manual focusing with this is really nice and really straightforward. And for landscape and seascape kind of photography, manual focus is absolutely fine. So that's I'd say I'm going to go with this. That's my wide angle lens for travel, which I'm going to take. Cameras were a tricky one with this one. I knew Micro Four Thirds would be the choice, but what cameras to take was a pickle. So I toyed between, I wanted to take two cameras with me. One is like a mains camera to get really good video and really good photos, and then the other would be a general kind of in my pocket walk around. So I didn't want to take a camera backpack with me. Maybe if it's like a really long day, a really long walk we're going to do, perhaps I won't. Or if we're going around and about during the night time, perhaps maybe I'll take a camera backpack. So I wanted to take a smaller camera too. Now I got a G80, which I am taking on a trip after San Francisco. We're going to Spain, and I think that's the perfect camera for that kind of getaway trip. And I was toying with taking the G80 to San Francisco. It's smaller than the G9, but you still have IBIS, you still have weather sealing, you still have really good 4K video, and it can take really nice stills too. But again, because this is a trip which I'm not likely to take again anytime soon, I wanted to make sure that I had the best camera on me. So high res mode, Vlog, 20 megapixels, you know, all these things I'm thinking about. So I will be taking the lovely, amazing G9, and it's such a lovely camera to hold too. So I'm not going to be bothered by its size, as it's such a pleasure to hold, and I'm comfortable with it and everything else. So G9 it is. Now the camera to accompany it was a bit of a pickle. Now I was debating whether to take the GH2, which is over there, Lumix GH2, and I really wanted to get some GH2 footage over there, but if I'm totally honest, I think that's just too many cameras. And I think if I have two cameras which I can do video with, I would be toying between the two, and I don't want any headaches when I'm out there of what to take. I just want to know this is for this and that's for that. So I just need to take one camera for video as much as the GH2 does produce lovely video, and I think I can do some really nice GH2 videos over there, it's just another camera which I don't want to have a headache of trying to pick between that and the G9 every time I go out. So decided not to, and I decided to go with a small pocketable camera. And I do have the GF3, which is a very capable stills camera, but the video is absolutely dog shit, and it's quite an old camera, and the camera I've chosen has a few more features on there. So although it's just going to be mainly a stills camera, you can shoot HD video and it's quite good, but there's a caveat there. But it's more megapixels, it's 60 megapixels. It also has focus peaking, level gauge. It's a fresher, newer kind of menu system, so easy to navigate. And it also has a flippy uppy screen, which is an advantage when it comes to like street photography. So I've gone for, if you haven't guessed it already, this is the Lumix GF7, and this is an incredible camera. That alone just wins. I'm joking. No, but this is a really cool camera. It's very small. It looks quite stylish too. All the lenses fit with it, which is perfect. I can do things like bracketing. I can do street photography with it, and it does shoot video. And the caveat with that is it's fully automatic in terms of settings. So I haven't got full control over the video settings, but if I'm in a pinch, I could just hit record and I can record some cool HD video. It's got Wi-Fi as well, and like I said, it's got the level gauge, it's got focus peaking if I need to do any manual focusing, bracketing. Yeah, it's fresher, it's newer than the GF3, and that will fit nicely in a pocket or a little sling bag. So that is my setup. I'll be taking like an ND filter for some landscapes. Obviously the Osmo Action will come with me too. I might have this as my vlog kind of setup, on the go kind of thing. Yeah, so I do plan to do some videos whilst I'm out there if I can. It's going to be quite a hectic few days or a week, trying to cram a lot in. There's a lot to see within a week, so it's going to be quite busy, but I do plan to get some content out whilst I'm over there. So yes, I love Micro Four Thirds. It's incredible. That small sensor really does benefit us, travelers and photographers. So yeah, hopefully there's more to come from Micro Four Thirds. Really exciting times. But yeah, anything you want to add to my list or recommend, then give us a shout in the comment section down below. Sorry it's been a while, but you know, real life sometimes can get in the way. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.